Hello, and welcome to the Intuitive Heart Healing Podcast. My name is Valeri McLaughlin, and I am your host for today's podcast. Created this podcast to help spread healing, wisdom, knowledge, to empower you to become your own power for healing, to share stories and wisdom and techniques and tools that I have learned along the way throughout my journey. And today we're going to talk about a topic I'm sure I've spoken about before, but I'm being guided to bring it back up again and talk about, and that is really being in ownership of your own energy and keeping your energy safe. And not necessarily talk to you about protecting your energy, so to speak, but really being awareness of your own energy and going through some things to clear. And so let's get started and just kind of talk about, like, we value protecting so many different things. We do things to protect our immune system. We have insurance to protect us when we get sick, or our car in case there's an accident, or our home. We buy a brand new cell phone, and most of us will buy a case to put on the cell phone, or a screen protector on the cell phone to protect that, because we value that. We value that. And what I would like you to do is to value your own energy. If you went rollerblading or played ice hockey or played football, you would put protective gear on. But we see those things. Those are physical. Those are tangible for us. But our energy, we don't necessarily see. We might feel it. We might feel it when it gets drained or things like that. But we don't see it, so we tend to forget about it. Forget about our energy and how valuable it is, and how really it is important to keep your own energy to yourself, and to not allow other energies to affect you. And we do this through a few different ways. One is protecting our energy. One is learning to pull our energy back and not allow other energies to affect it. One of it is our intentions and our words. And one way is to also be mindful of what spaces we walk into, what people we surround ourselves with, what we put into our physical bodies, because that affects our energy. What we say to ourselves, what we allow others to say to us, what movies we watch, what TV we watch, what songs we listen to, what words we read. All these things affect our energy. All these things affect our well-being. So it is really important for us to be mindful and aware of what we are doing, and get into good habits, good rituals, consistency. So I want you to think, when you get in the car, do you put your seatbelt on? when you ride a bike, do you put a helmet on? These things become a habit. You do these things to keep you safe. What we want you to do, what your guides want you to do, what spirit wants you to do, what me personally would like you to do, is to get into that same practice when it comes to protecting your energy. When you do spiritual work, you are opening up portals for information to come through. You're allowing the divine to come through and speak to you. But when the light is there, it draws people in. It draws spirits in. It draws in a lot. And you are the ones that sets the boundaries of what you allow to come through. You are the one that sets the perimeter around what can enter and what cannot enter. And some of these energies that come through are maybe not of the highest good. And sometimes it's not even intentional. You could be at a healing and you walk in, and I've shared this story before and I'm going to share it again. When I first started doing this, exploring healing and spirituality and tapping into my spiritual senses and open up my communication with loved ones and spirits and my guides, I went to a shaman retreat and I walked into the first night and I was running around. I was running late. My energy was all over the place because I didn't want to be late. I got lost and my energy already walking in there was all over the place. I did not take any time to ground. I did not take any time to collect myself. So right off the bat, I wasn't all together. Think of when you have all these fish that come to like the fish tank. They see you, but then you tap on the glass and they kind of like go everywhere. That's kind of how my energy was. It was kind of like everywhere. And it wasn't contained into myself. Jump out of the car and I run in because I didn't want to be late because they are starting a ceremony right away and, the doors were going to close. And I run in there and I didn't protect my energy because I wasn't thinking about it because I was thinking about being late. And B, part of me was like, well, I'm going into a safe space. This is a spiritual event. We're going to do a drum circle and we're going to do Native American dance and we're going to hear some stories and some enriching information about this person's journey into shamanism and his relationship to the land and to the people and to his tribe. And I go into here wide open, not protected, and scattered energy. So a lot of spaces for things to enter. And I'm in this space, and as I'm in this space and we're doing this one ceremony, I felt it. I felt this energy come into my space, and it didn't feel good. But again, I thought I was in a safe space. I didn't think of anything about it. But let me tell you, I had to have help with getting this energy to be released from me because it had attached to me. Whether it was intentional or whether I walked into that space and this energy was there or energy was on somebody else, and through this through the ritual, that person got healing, the energy got released, and that energy said, wow, there's a spot open over there because she's wide open and her energy's all over the place. We can just sneak right in and she's not even going to know it. And I allowed this to happen. And really, that was one of the things that I really learned in that moment from that experience, was that even if you think that you're going into a safe space, doesn't mean that you don't have to value and protect your energy. It's like a football player puts on the pads and they do everything, doesn't mean that they're not going to be injured. But they did everything they could to protect themselves. And that's what I want you to do everything you can to protect your energy. It is so valuable. It is so important for your well-being. And it doesn't take a lot of time, but it has to become a practice. It has to become awareness that you do over and over and over again. And when you protect your energy, you need to also make sure that you are clearing out your energy. You want to make sure that it is clear so that you're not holding in something that is not of your highest good. You don't want to take a dirty container and put something clean in it to keep it nice and clean, because it's going to make it dirty. So you have to make sure that before you protect your energy, you clear it. I was speaking to somebody and they said, oh, I realized that I wasn't protecting my energy when all of a sudden I started to feel somebody else's energy. So then I put the shields up, but then I still wasn't feeling good. And I said to them, did you clear your energy? Did you release that energy of somebody else? And there's different ways that you can do it. And we talked about it before. And I said, it's just a simple practice. You feel somebody else's energy and you say, this is not mine, send it back to source. This is not mine, send it back to source. This is not mine, send it back to source. There's times where you say, that is your energy, this is my energy. That is your energy, this is my energy. There's crystals that you can use to clear your energy. You can call in the angels, you can call in the dragons that clear in your energy before you surround and protect it. And you always want to work of the highest good. I had this teacher, I took this course, a spiritual development course. And I had a teacher and they were talking about protecting their energy and different ways that you can surround yourself and protect your energy. And the teacher was talking about, like, you can surround yourself in white light, you can use shields, and you can also use mirrors. And she was like, yeah, I went into a meeting. I knew the meeting was going to be really aggressive. So I surrounded myself and I surrounded mirrors so that whatever energy that person was throwing at me was being reflected back to them. And you could see it. And at the time, I remember thinking, I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. This way you're not absorbing and taking on the energy. But as I grew and evolved and learned, I also began to realize that in doing it that way, you're reflecting that energy and you're putting that energy back out. So when I talk about being intentional of what you do and what you're doing and what your words are, it's really important, because what energy you put back out is also energy that's going to come back to you. It's like the saying, when you worry, you're worrying about something that isn't going to happen or hasn't happened, but you're putting that worry out, that now that energy is out there for it to possibly happen. So you always want to make sure that you're putting the right energy out, that what you want to put back. And so if I ever use the mirror technique to surround myself with mirrors, I say surround myself with mirrors and allow the mirrors to transmute that energy to love and reflect back to it where it came from. So now I'm putting the energy of love back out, because I'd rather have the energy of love coming back to me than the energy of anger or hate or sadness or whatever lower vibrational energy that was. And I want more love in this world, so whenever I do send energy back out that I'm releasing, I always transmute it back to love and send it back. And this habit of protecting your energy is also creating rituals. So maybe you're somebody that takes a shower in the morning, and you get in the shower and you allow the water to cleanse and clean you, not just physically but energetically, and that's your intention when you walk into the shower. So every time you get in the shower, you're clearing your energy. And then you take that moment, and afterwards, once you're clear and clean and all that, to surround yourself with love, peace, joy, happiness, whatever you want to fill yourself up, and ground and connect to Mother Earth, and then surround yourself in light or fire or whatever you wish to do, that to only allow what is the highest good to come through, and anything that are not of the highest good, transmute it back to love and send it back to source. And thank whomever you're calling upon for all their love and protection. That could be a morning practice that you have, or a nightly practice, or a morning and nightly practice, and you can use that throughout the day. But when you sit down to go into a healing, a group session, something like that, whether you think that space is safe or not, taking another moment to kind of go through the same thing of clearing and protecting your energy. And the reason is because, like everything, every energy, just like the energy in your cell phones or your computers, over time, whether you're using it or not, the energy starts to dissipate. So if your computer or cell phone's not plugged in, whether you're using it, it starts to dissipate. But then if you use it, let's say your cell phone, and you get a phone call, or then you go and you check Facebook, and then you go and you search the web, or then you go to do a TikTok video or something, whatever, the more that you use it, the more that the energy starts to drain out of your battery. Well, the same things happens throughout the day. So as you protect your energy, the more you go about doing your business, whatever that is, the more your energy will drain. So if you are by yourself and you're doing things by yourself, or maybe one or two people, your energy protection is not going to drain as much. But then you turn around and you go into a group meeting, whether it's online, in Zoom, or in person, because that energy just flows. It doesn't matter if you're in the same room as people. Then you start drawing on all these other energy, and that begins to deplete your protection energy even more. And then at the end of your work day or whatever you're doing, you decide to go do a group meditation. Now you should regroup and protect your energy before you walk in, so that you stay in your own energy. So even if there's unintentional energy coming at you, it is not going to affect you as much. These are practices for you to get into, but you also have to have the mindset and the intention. And remember, what you put out is what comes back. Your intention is that you don't want to feel and take on other people's energy, because you can throw protection on yourself, but If your intention is just to shield things away, but you want to feel everything anyway, or you feel like you got to be able to feel Susie's energy in order to help her out or in order to comfort her, then you're giving away that energy. You're giving away. And if you allow yourself to be around people that are not aligned with you, or that maybe talk more negative than you, and when I use the word negative, it doesn't necessarily be bad. It could be them talking about, oh, I hate work, I hate coming here, I don't like this, I don't like that. It's not necessarily bad. And it's really just is. You listened to me talk before, you know it just is. It's just a lower vibrational energy, and you're trying to be a higher vibrational energetic being. Being around lower vibrational energy will also start to drain and affect you, which means that you have to be a little bit more intentional of where you put your energy, where you allow your energy, and really be truthful with yourself that not wanting to take on other people's energy. You don't have to do that in order to hold space for people. If somebody's sad and hurt because they lost somebody, you can hold an energetic space for them filled with love and empathy without taking on their sadness. And those are things that you have to be intentional about. And also, as you get to understand your own energy, you spend some time with yourself and understanding your energy and realizing what you may be yours and maybe somebody else's, those are going to help you as well. So let's say you're feeling all nice and happy and you walk up to Bob and all of a sudden you get this big uncomfortableness on your chest. You're like, oh, you know what? 30 seconds ago, before I walked in this room, I wasn't feeling that way. What's going on? Is this mine? If it's not yours, then get rid of it. If it is yours, then figure out what it's trying to tell you. This comes with you getting to know yourself, being with your own energy, spending some time in silence, scanning your energetic body. All these things help you to understand yourself. And understanding yourself is so important. I talk about that in another podcast, understanding you or getting to know you, or it's all about you. I don't remember. But I talk about that. And I talk about how important it is for you to understand yourself and understand your energy. And I've had this conversation, but my guides keep telling me that this conversation has to happen again. And the reason why we have to have this conversation again is because most of you are not practicing this. And as you evolve into higher energetic beings, it is really, 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 really important for you to practice this. As you get more in touch with your psychic senses, the more you understand you and you only allow what the highest good in, the more that your psychic senses will come through, your guidance will come through, your loved ones will come through, the more that you can see the path ahead that you're being guided on. It is so important for you to value your own energy. And in the physical world, when we value something, we tend to take care of that. Whether it's our car, whether it's our cell phone, whether it's our house or our clothes or sneakers, when we value it, we tend to take care of it. We tend to make sure it's clean. We tend to make sure that it's protected. We want you to value yourself and value your own energy, and to really protect that with your thoughts, the way you talk to yourself, the energy that you put out, protecting your energy, cutting cords, clearing your energy, staying in your own energetic space, and not allowing others to encroach your energetic space. What you put in your body, the supplements, the beverages, the food you put in your body is very, very important. If you are putting lower vibrational food into your being, you're lowering the value of yourself. You're lowering the value of your energy. If you put higher vibrational food into your body, then it lifts it up. And it could just be also the intention. If you eat something that you consider to be bad and you put that in, then that's what you're putting in your body. If you eat the same thing and you change the value of that, it'll have a different effect on your body, physically and energetically. Still doesn't mean that you shouldn't try to put the best food within yourself. Drink the best food. Get the movements that you need. Talk to yourself in the best way. Have the best practice. Whatever it is to you, whether it's meditation, journaling, whatever. Be fluid. Listen to yourself. Listen to your body and what it's telling you. But I really, really cannot stress this enough. The importance of clearing and protecting your energy. And if you could really see how valuable your energy was and is, you would do more to take care of it. And that is what we really, 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 really want you to do, is to see the value and take care of it. It'll change your life experiences. I could share so many stories about people that that I've helped, that I've worked with, and I talk about this, and we do something. I get them in the practice of protecting their energy. Then they tell me how their whole experience with that person, or with sleep, or in a room with people, how it started, how it's changed. And then months later, we might reconnect on something, and then they'll say, oh my God, I did this and this happened. I said, oh, you know what my first question is? Did you protect your energy? No, I forgot. Well, remember what you felt like when you protected your energy, and how much it changed your physical, mental well-being, and also how you interact with people. It just goes to show you how important it is. And it only takes a few moments. Whether you're sitting still or doing it on the move, it only takes a few moments. And yes, sometimes you have to do more in certain situations. Maybe you're doing a ceremony. You have to protect not only your physical energy, but the energy of the whole surrounding. It is so, so important. So important. You always want to work with somebody who is holding the space through a reading, through a healing, through a meditation, through a yoga practice that is working in the highest good and holding that space, protected and safe. But it doesn't mean that you don't do the same for your being. I hope this has helped. I hope you draw some of your own conclusion of this. I hope you start to get in the practice of this and be extremely intentional with your words, with your thoughts, with what you truly want, and start to protect your energy every day, multiple times a day, different ways depending on what your space, and realizing that when you are in certain space or certain company, that you need to remove yourself, because that is not good for your physical, emotional, energetic being. be aware, set your boundaries, and stick to your boundaries. Till next time, go out and spread some love in this world. I am sending all my love to all of you. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye for now.